Alrighty, coming to you live in the month of September 10th to be exact. Wow, where to begin? So, my last video I had basically given an estimation of my current body fat percentage, which I was guessing was in the 11% ballpark. Turns out I just got my body fat percentage measured through a DEXA scan, and it came out to 11.8%, so I'm just going to round up and call it 12%, so I was a point off. So 12% body fat, and as I've said in many videos already, I am shooting for a 5%, and again that comes out to about 20 to 25 pounds of fat loss within the next 8 weeks, potentially 12, but I want to do it in 8 weeks. So that's where we are. I'm not too happy with how this past week has gone. It was my birthday on Tuesday, and it is my best friend's birthday. My best friend, my lady friend, my girlfriend, what have you. It's her birthday today. So between last Tuesday and now, festivities kind of have been occurring, and I can tell you right now I haven't lost weight. So there's that. But I also kind of look at this as a learning lesson, something to really reflect on. And really the thought that's occurring in my head after the past week of not binge eating, but essentially eating whatever I wanted, I understand that I have to start looking at other ways to celebrate life. I would say that eating has always been such a major component of my celebration of festivities when it comes to excuse me with that. When it comes to being in a good mood and just wanting to celebrate, whether it be my birthday or some other kind of event that is cause for celebration, my go-to source, or what has to be incorporated into that, is the ingesting of food. Mainly cupcakes and cakes and burgers and pizza and all those other wonderful things that people like to eat. That's what I've been eating for the past week. And I mean, 12% doesn't look that bad on me. I still have a shirt on. Let's see what that, yeah, matter of fact, let's take the damn shirt off. This is, I'm not happy about it. But it is what it is, and everything I did was of my own volition, and this is how we have come out. So we got a ways to go, but my intention is, after today, going on a 5-day fast of strictly water, maybe a cup of coffee here and there, and call it a day. From there, clean eating, single ingredient foods, chicken, rice, black beans, potatoes, kiwi, yogurt, and we just stick to that for essentially the next 8 weeks. Maybe, and again, this is a huge maybe, but maybe have a cheat meal. But the more that I think about it, because I'm looking at the long haul, I'm looking at creating something that sustains past what has been my habit, which is getting in shape or getting shredded for a very, very short amount of time. For instance, when I was getting in shape for the movie role that I did in 2021, I spent 3 months cutting weight, losing fat, and I'm going to close this window because I keep hearing planes come by. But I spent 3 months losing weight and cutting fat just for the purpose of filming one shirtless scene. And I got from 200 pounds to 175 in 3 months. I filmed the shirtless scene, And then as soon as I was done, I was over at the craft table eating carbs, croissants, granola bars, and basically just eating everything in sight. And within the span of 4 weeks, I gained 20 pounds back. So I went from 175 to 195 in a month. Same thing happened with this most recent photo shoot that I did in July, where I spent 2 months cutting weight, and this time it was fasting and binge eating and fasting and binge eating, as I've already discussed in other videos. But I did all that and I got to 7% body fat. I did a photo shoot, and then immediately after the photo shoot, I was at the nearest pizza place in New York eating my weight in pizza, margaritas, and tacos. And I acknowledge that this habit needs to stop, because we are finally in the end game now, where the brand is specific to a certain look, and the look is cut, shredded, low body fat, lean, and just looking like a peak physical human. Which means I have to change my eating habits. I can't just get shredded for a day and be happy. It's like, all right, did my shred. I spent 3 months to get shredded, and now I'm shredded for 24 hours, and now let me gain 20 pounds back. I can't do that anymore. Instead, now the goal is to maintain that look of being cut and that aesthetic goal over a course of, essentially, we're looking at 10 years. Like I said before, this is a 10-year project, and that's where we are now. And this means that I have to change my eating habits. It can't just be getting in shape for a specific event or a photo shoot or anything like that. It has to be, I'm getting in shape for the purpose of staying in shape. And to be clear, getting in shape and staying in shape looks different for me than someone else. I'm preparing for a role. So I don't have to be the most cardiovascular human on the planet. I don't have to be the strongest person on the planet. I am specifically creating an image of a superhuman, and it's an aesthetic look. So that's what getting in shape means for me. It might mean something different for someone else, but I am pursuing my own version of peak physical form. Yeah, so that's where we are. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm just going to fall out of love with sweets and salts and high caloric foods, or if I'm just going to learn how to develop self-control and not consume those items because I understand what it does to me. But something has to change in order to create the sustainability that I require in order to get this job done. So that's kind of where we are. I'm optimistic because I always get the job done. And the whole point of this is to document the story, and perhaps I can help other people who are facing similar situations. Because if there's one thing that an individual should understand, is that it is a force of will for me to look the way that I do. I can gain weight very easily at this point in the game. It wasn't always like this. When I was in my late teens and early 20s, I could literally eat whatever I wanted and not experience any kind of weight gain. In fact, I would look something very similar to this for, honestly, most of my life, until I discovered what clean eating, dieting, and a well-balanced diet or nutrition can actually do to your physique. And I learned what it meant to actually have a low body fat percentage and how different that can actually make you look. The way that your face gets leaner and the muscles become more defined just as a result of, lowering your body fat. So it's a journey. It's a journey, and it's a journey that I am very much looking forward to assisting other individuals in achieving their goals once I've achieved mine. As I've stated in previous videos, the goal is to roll out a fitness and health consultation service after I've hit my 5% body fat goal, and coach individuals on exactly what worked for me, what didn't work for me. And again, it always comes back to the mentality. And for me, the mentality is, what's the motivation? What is the motivation for an individual to want to lose weight, to want to keep the weight off, to perform better, to think differently? Because if you can't trace the source of your motivation as to why you're pursuing something that's difficult to achieve, I find that it's a lot more difficult to actually see it through if you can't pinpoint the why behind it. It's easy for me because I have spent so much time with myself thinking about the why to achieve excellence in physical form, in mental clarity and excellence. I understand why, and I'm aligned. So I'm going to forgive myself for the past week that has occurred. I wasn't intending on having something of a celebratory birthday. I just turned 31, and my intention was really to honestly have a quiet little thing, maybe one dinner, one dinner, and call it a day. You know, hang out with some close friends of mine and keep on moving. Didn't turn out that way. It is what it is, but now we can return back to a sense of normalcy and focus and concentration and drive. Fasting for 5 days, all that good stuff. So yeah, 12%, 5% coming soon.